Hi, kindergartners, or today I can really say first graders, as this is your last day in kindergarten with me. I just wanted to say I had a wonderful year. Even though the ending was different, we still stayed together, we still communicated, got to see your smiling faces every day. And even though you are going off into first grade, you're still part of my classroom, part of my family, and you're always welcome to come back and visit me or write me, and I want to know how you're doing. I hope you have a great summer, and we will definitely keep in touch because I love you. Today I wanted to read a book about love because I'm feeling all these great feelings about you guys and how much I really do love you. This book is called I Love You Just the Way You Are. And if you look at the front cover, you can see we have some animals. And a lot of times authors use animals as characters. And that tells us something about the book. It tells us that perhaps it's fiction because animals wouldn't talk and wouldn't do some of the things that are in the pages of the book. And in this book, we see a parent and a child because parents really do love you just the way you are. And I'm going to read this because during this school year, even though you have your own parents and I have my own daughter, you're like my kids. You're like my child. And I love you just the way you are. And when I read this book, I think of my daughter, obviously, but I also think of you because you were like my child through why you were in my class, and you always will be in my heart. And I love you just the way you are. So I'd like you to listen to the story and think about the people in your life that you love, no matter what. And I open it up to hearts because hearts are a symbol of love. This book belongs to, and obviously it belongs to me. I love you just the way you are. James Dillon and Rosie Greening. More animals, more hearts. Just lots of love in this book. Each morning when I wake you up, you're grumpy as can be, but you're my dreaming dozer, and that's all right with me. Now this one really hits home because my daughter is kind of grumpy in the morning, and even though you're grumpy, we love you. When you're feeling nervous, you sometimes try to hide. I love you, timid turtle, and I'm always by your side. Even in times when you don't feel that outgoing or you're kind of sad, we're there for you. We love you. We're always there. Even though you're tiny, you're the bravest mouse I know. I love you, little lion heart. It's great to watch you grow. And we've talked about this many, many times during the school year. It doesn't really matter what's on the outside. What's on the inside that matters. So you can be tiny, tiny as a mouse, and timid as a mouse, but you are loved. You always make a giant mess each time you eat and play. Although you are a messy pup, I love you anyway. Are you having some connections? We can be messy at times, but that doesn't make someone who loves you stop loving you. You like to trumpet loudly and stomp and stamp all day. You're a noisy elephant, but I love you that way. And there were times during the school year I had to ring the chime or I had to remind you to be quiet. But even though I rang the chime and I wanted you quiet and I knew you were kind of noisy sometimes, I still loved you just the way you are. You scramble and you scurry, you clamber and you climb. You're my cheeky monkey and I love you all the time. Do you notice something about the text? I'm noticing how the layout looks And I'm also listening and hearing rhythm and rhyme. Whenever we go swimming, you're the splashiest by far. You're my happy hippo, and I love how fun you are. And I do think that you are all fun too. Sometimes you don't want to wash and give a giant roar. Even when you're stubborn, every day I love you more. And when someone loves you, it's like a seed. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. When you're in a prickly mood, you curl up in a ball. But you're my spiky hedgehog, and I love you most of all. We all get grumpy sometimes. That doesn't change who you are inside. Grumpy, spiky, you're loved. Sometimes you jump happily and never want to stop. You're a fidget little frog, but I love every hop. Whether you're red and angry or feeling down and blue, I see your true colors and the beauty inside you. So no matter how you're feeling on the outside or what you're doing on the inside you're still you, and you are loved. So remember, in the universe, you are my brightest star, and no matter what you say or do, I love you as you are. The end. A beautiful book for a parent and a child, and a wonderful book for a teacher and her children, because the message of the story is you are loved unconditionally no matter what. And that's how I feel about you. So today, as you leave kindergarten, just remember all the wonderful things that we did together, and know that you are loved by Mrs. Claire Hart very, very much. And I'll always be there for you, no matter when or where. You've seen some of my students come back and they're big and adults, and they still are part of my family, and I always love them. Today, at our last Google Meet, I want you just to think about something that happened in the classroom that you'll never forget. A fond memory, something that we did together that makes you smile and that you'll take with you. I love you, boys and girls, and I can't wait to see you at noon as we say our last goodbye as kindergartners, and you start a new chapter as big first graders. I'll see you today. Love you just the way you are.